everybody. I hope that you're all doing well. Another different backdrop for you. It was not intentional. I'm still in the same room, but I am in front of a different window. Long story short, by where I normally sit, I am in the middle of filming another video with my new camera lens. That camera died while that battery charges because it's a different camera. I'm doing this video, so I'm kind of filming two videos at once. Anyway, regardless, rather than like move that tripod and whatever, I'm just sitting in a different spot. Anyway, but you know what? I'm not mad at it. I kind of like it, so let me know which one you like better. Anyway, I wanted to do a part 2 of my, what did I call it? Useless facts that you don't need to know, I think, right? I posted that, I want to say in like November, so a couple months ago, and that video was super well received, and I love facts videos myself, so I thought maybe I'd make it a series, like do part 2, part 3, part 4, but every part will be like a different subject, different topic, if that makes sense. So let me know what you think about that. So today we are going to be doing astronomy facts. I've always found outer space and like our solar system and all that is super interesting. Astronomy was the only science class I liked in college and got an A in, so it's got a little special place in my heart. So I have my phone here and I'm just gonna read the facts to you and we'll see how many we get through. And I hope that you guys enjoy. So I'm not gonna number them because I always lose track, so I'm just gonna read the facts for you. So Mercury and Venus are the only 2 planets in our solar system that have no moons. In total, there are 176 confirmed moons that orbit the planets in our solar system, with some of them being bigger than Mercury itself. Next, if a star passes too close to a black hole, it can be torn apart. For 20 years, a team of astronomers observed a star at the center of our galaxy orbiting a black hole. The star has now got close enough to the black hole for gravitational redshift to occur, which is where the star's light loses energy as the black hole's gravity is intensified. Okay. The hottest planet in our solar system is Venus. Most people think that this would be Mercury, as it is the closest planet to the Sun. However, Venus has a lot of gases in its atmosphere, which creates a greenhouse effect that causes a constant temperature of 864 degrees Fahrenheit everywhere on the planet's surface. That is 462 degrees Celsius, by the way. Alright, next. Our solar system is 4.57 billion, with a B, billion years old. Well, give or take 30 million years-ish. Accurately speaking, it is 4.571 billion years old. That's so cool to me. Oh wait, there's more, sorry. Scientists estimate that in about 5 billion years, our sun will expand, becoming a red giant. In about 7.5 billion years, its expanding surface will swallow up and engulf the Earth. We won't be here, so it's fine. Next, Enceladus, I think, one of Saturn's smallest moons, reflects 90% of the sun's light. Because its icy surface reflects sunlight rather than absorbing it, temperatures reach as low as, oh my gosh, negative 394 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 201 degrees Celsius. Dang. Okay. The highest mountain discovered is the Olympus Mons, which is located Its peak is 16 miles high, making it nearly 3 times higher than Mount Everest. And not only is it tall, but it's also 374,015 feet squared wide. That is an area the size of Arizona. Wow, that's crazy. It's as wide as the whole state of Arizona. The Whirlpool Galaxy was the first celestial object identified as being spiral. The grand spiraling arms of the Whirlpool Galaxy are made up of long lanes of stars and gas sprinkled with lots of space dust. These arms act as star formation factories, compressing hydrogen gas and creating clusters of new stars. Next, a light year is the distance covered by light in a single year. That's like the only thing I remember from this class. Light moves at the velocity of about 186,411 miles a second. So, 1 light year equates to roughly, I don't even know what number this is, 5,903,026,326,255 miles. We can't even fathom or even begin to comprehend how fast that is. Okay, the Milky Way galaxy is 105,700 light years wide. It would take a modern spacecraft 450 million years to travel to the center of our galaxy. Does that not blow your mind? I think it's just so cool. I'm sorry, I'm kind of nerding out right now. I just think it's so cool. Anyway, the sun weighs about 330,000 times more than the Earth. It is about 109 times the diameter of Earth, and it's so large the Earth could fit inside the sun about 1,300,000 times over. In fact, the sun is so gigantic that it contains 99.85% of all mass in our solar system. Footprints left on the moon won't disappear as there is no wind. But wait a minute, if there's no wind to blow them away, then why is the flag blowing? Well, it actually wasn't blowing. That rippling you see is because of a stubborn telescopic horizontal rod that the astronauts were struggling to remove from the flag's upper hem. Still unsure whether we've talked about the moon. Okay, that's something separate. Okay, wait. So it's just a ripple in the flag. It's like bent like that. But because we only see pictures of it, we think that it's moving, but it's really not. Huh? We just learned something today, folks. Okay. Because of lower gravity, a person who weighs 220 pounds on Earth would weigh 84 pounds on Mars. When sending droids to the surface of Mars, this is something scientists plan for, being able to load the droid up with more equipment and build it from more robust materials. There are 79 known moons orbiting Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet in our solar system with the most moons, and it also has the largest moon in our solar system. That moon is called Ganymede and is 33,279 miles in diameter. That's bigger than Mercury, and it is visible with just a pair of binoculars. The Martian day is 24 hours, 39 minutes, and 35 seconds long. That's so complicated. So you'd therefore assume there are less days in a year on Mars than Earth, right? Wrong. Because Mars orbits the sun slower than the Earth, there are actually 687 Martian days in a Martian year. Cool. The sun makes a full rotation once every 25 to 35 days. So for us on Earth, one full rotation equals one full day. However, our gargantuan sun takes 25 to 35 Earth days to make one full rotation. Earth is the only planet not named after a god. Nobody knows how the Earth got its name. All we know is that it is derived from an amalgamation of both the Old English and Old Germanic words for ground, the word ground. Sure. I think most of us maybe know this one. Maybe not, I shouldn't say that, I don't know. Due to the sun and moon's gravitational pull, we have tides, like in the ocean. This is because the moon's tidal force causes the Earth and the water on it to bulge out on the side closest to the moon. These bulges are what cause the world's high tides. Also, as the weather gets nicer, there are going to be more planes out. Sorry about that. Okay, next. According to mathematics, white holes are possible, although as of yet, we have found none. A white hole is a hypothetical region of space-time which can't be entered from the outside, although matter and light can escape from within. I've never heard of a white hole. There are more volcanoes on Venus than any other planet in our solar system. There are more than 1,600 major volcanoes across the surface of Venus, including a 5-mile high volcano called Matmons. However, none of these volcanoes are known to be erupting at present, and most are probably long extinct. Uranus's blue glow is due to the gases in its atmosphere. Uranus's atmosphere is made up of hydrogen, helium, and methane. The methane in Uranus's upper atmosphere filters out all the red light from the sun, but reflects the sun's blue light back into space, giving it its blue appearance. I think that's like the prettiest planet, in my opinion, besides Earth. In our solar system, it's a typo. It's supposed to say in our solar system there are 4 planets known as gas giants: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. A gas giant is a large planet that is made up of mostly gases like hydrogen and helium and has only a relatively small, rocky core. Uranus has 27 moons that have been discovered so far. Cue all the comments, you said Uranus. I'm saying it because I know that it's coming. Anyway, it has 5 large moons and 22 small moons. Titania is the largest of Uranus's moons and is the 8th largest moon in our solar system, with an average diameter of 980.5 miles. Neptune's moon, Triton, I don't know why I said it like that, Triton orbits the planet backwards. It's the only large moon of any of the planets that does this. This is known as a retrograde orbit, and astronomers are unsure as to why it orbits Neptune this way. Because it wants to. Triton is gradually getting closer to the planet it orbits. Scientists believe that when Triton eventually gets too close to Neptune, it will be torn apart by the planet's gravity and could potentially create another ring around Neptune, giving it more rings than Saturn. Ooh. space than there are grains of sand in the world. That's crazy. There are 10 times more stars in the night sky than grains of sand on the Earth, with 70 sextillion stars being visible from Earth through a telescope. Sextillion. That's a lot. That's a lot of zeros. Neptune takes nearly 165 Earth years to make one orbit of the Sun. That's equivalent to 60,190 Earth days to orbit the Sun once. Neptune has a very slow orbital speed of 3.37 miles per second. Wow. Oh, there's more. That means that since it was discovered in 1846, it has only completed just one orbit. You may, at the end of most of the facts, it says you may also like these interesting facts about this, and it takes you to another link. I keep accidentally reading that. The International Space Station is the largest manned object ever sent to space. At 119 yards long, the International Space Station sits roughly 250 miles above the Earth and is the third brightest object in the night sky. A day on Pluto lasts 153.6 hours long. This equates to 6 days, 9 hours, and 36 minutes. A day on Pluto lasts so long because of its slow rotation rate. Okay. Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system. It has a radius of 36,184 miles, which is 9 times that of the Earth. However, due to its low density, it only has a weight roughly 1/8 of Earth. Any free-moving liquid in outer space will form itself into a sphere. This is because of something called surface tension, which is an imbalance of intermolecular attractive forces. This can also occur in low Earth orbit. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are known as the inner planets. They are named the inner planets because they orbit closest to the Sun. An inner planet is classified as a planet located within the asteroid belt. We know more about Mars and our moon than we do about our oceans. The ocean is freaking terrifying. We have fully mapped 100% of the surface of Mars and the Earth's moon, whereas we have only been able to map roughly 5% of the ocean floor. I saw something the other day that was like, it was like a visual diagram, an animated diagram to put into perspective for you how deep the ocean is, and it's crazy, crazy. We can't even fully comprehend it, I don't think. The Black Arrow is the only British satellite to be launched using a British rocket. Black Arrow was developed during the 1960s and was used for 4 launches between 1969 and 1971. In 2019, it was retrieved from its crash landing site in the Australian outback and put on a display in Scotland. Black Arrow. That's a cool name for a satellite. Okay, next. Only 5% of the universe is visible from Earth. 68. Okay, what's wrong with me today? 68% of the universe is dark energy, and 27% is dark matter. Both of these are invisible, even with a telescope, which means we are only able to see 5% of the universe. So imagine all the things that we don't know. There's just so much. Light travels from the sun to the Earth in less than 10 minutes. The photons emitted from the sun's surface travel across the vacuum of space at the speed of light, lightning storms. I hate the rain and I hate the humidity, but I love lightning and thunderstorms. I don't know why. I grew up watching them on the porch with my dad. I don't know. I love them. I really do. I don't know why. Like the one cool thing about spring and summer. Not the one cool thing, but you know what I mean. Okay. The Earth's rotation is slowing slightly as time goes on. This means that days were shorter in the past. This is because of the tidal effects the moon has on the Earth's rotation. So what does that mean for us? If you were driving at 75 miles per hour, it would take 258 days to drive around Saturn's rings. Saturn's rings are roughly 175,000 miles long, although they are only about 3,200 feet thick. Outer space is only 62 miles away. Although there is no official solid boundary for where space begins, the Kármán line sits at 62 miles above sea level and is conventionally used as the start of outer space in space treaties or for aerospace record keeping. That's cool. Only 62 miles away. I live 52 miles from my job. Or 50. So, it's like almost that same distance. The International Space Station circles Earth every 92 minutes. That's fast. The speed of the ISS as it orbits Earth is roughly 17,150 miles per hour. That equates to 5 miles a second. Stars twinkle because of the way light is disrupted as it passes through Earth's atmosphere. Starlight is affected by the winds in our atmosphere as it enters, as well as being affected by different areas and temperatures. This causes the light from each star to twinkle as we look at them. We always see the same side of the moon, no matter where we stand on Earth. This is because the moon rotates on its axis at the same rate that it rotates the Earth. It's known as synchronous rotation or tidal locking. That's cool. There are 3 main types of galaxies: elliptical, spiral, and irregular. The Milky Way galaxy, the one that our solar system resides in, is classified as a spiral galaxy. There are approximately 100,000 million stars in the Milky Way. Out of all the known galaxies, the Milky Way is the one that contains the most stars. Using the naked eye, you can see 3 to 7 different galaxies from the Earth. You can see the Andromeda Galaxy, both Magellanic Clouds, I don't know how to pronounce these words, or our own Milky Way galaxy, the Triangulum Galaxy, the Omega Centauri, and the Sagittarius Dwarf Spheroidal Galaxy. Spheroidal Galaxy. In 2016, scientists detected a radio signal from a source 5 billion light years away. This means that when the signal started its journey, Earth didn't even exist. The detected signals were located using the Very Large Array of the National Radio Astronomy Observatory in New Mexico. The first supernova observed outside of our own galaxy was in 1885. This supernova was called the S Andromedae, located in the Andromeda Galaxy. This was observed by Ernst Hartwig in Estonia and was only made possible due to the recent invention of the telescope. The first ever black hole photographed is 3 million times the size of Earth. The photo was released in April 2019 and shows a halo of dust and gas 310 million trillion miles from Earth. It was captured by the Event Horizon Telescope, a network of 8 linked telescopes and was also captured due to the algorithm of programmer Katie Borman. I feel like I remember when that picture was released because I was already working for the news station at the time that I work at now. And I'm pretty sure that was in a show that I did. So yeah, I think I kind of remember that. 2019. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was 22 years old. So yeah, I probably do remember that. Buzz Aldrin's birth name was Edwin Eugene Aldrin Jr. He got the nickname Buzz from his sister's mispronunciation of the word brother, which became Buzzer. In 1988, he legally changed his first name to Buzz. That's kind of funny. Space is completely silent. This is because there is no air in space, and air is needed to carry the sound vibrations. So if you shouted to someone next to you in space, they wouldn't be able to hear you. That's so wild. So there's no sound, there's no wind. That's crazy. Coca-Cola was the first commercial soft drink that was ever consumed in space. Of course it was. The first food ever eaten in space was applesauce and was eaten by John Glenn in space during the Friendship 7 mission in 1962. Astronauts can grow approximately 2 inches in height when in space. This is due to the lack of gravity in space that causes the discs between the vertebrae to expand a little. That makes sense. However, this extra height is lost when returning to the Earth's atmosphere and being subjected to the Earth's gravity again. You kind of just like elongate. The first woman in space was a Russian called Valentina Tereshkova. She launched into both history and space during the Vostok 6 mission on June 16, 1963. She spent almost 3 days in space and orbited the Earth 48 times in her space capsule before returning to Earth. Go girl. If Saturn's rings were 3 feet long, they would be 10,000 times thinner than a razor blade. The rings around Saturn are so thin because they are made up of pieces of dusty water ice, ranging in size from dust grains to boulders. The Hubble Space Telescope is one of the most productive scientific instruments ever built. Astronomers using Hubble data have published more than 15,000 scientific papers. Those papers have been cited in other papers 738,000 times. Alright. Exoplanets are planets that orbit around other stars. All of the planets in our solar system orbit around the sun. But what about other solar systems? In 2009, NASA launched a spacecraft called Kepler to look for exoplanets and has discovered thousands since its launch. Oh my gosh, wait, what? The center of the Milky Way smells like rum and tastes like raspberries. This was discovered by the IM radio telescope zeroed in on a gas cloud called Sagittarius B2 at the center of our galaxy. The IRAM detected a chemical called ethyl formate, which gives rum its distinct smell and raspberries their distinct flavor. What? Okay. Interesting. Pluto is named after the Roman god of the underworld, not the Disney dog. The name for the planet was suggested by Venetia Burney, an 11-year-old British schoolgirl, to the planet's discoverer Clyde Tombaugh. Interesting. Spacesuit helmets have a Velcro patch to help astronauts itch. This is the Velcro patch's one and only service. That's kind of true though. You can't touch your face. You have the big globe, so like you have like the worst itch on your nose. You can't touch it. That could be distracting from like a mission that they have to complete, right? The ISS is visible to more than 90% of the Earth's population. When you see the International Space Station, the ISS, in the night sky, it appears as a fast-moving star crossing from horizon to horizon. Saturn is the only planet that could float. Plant? Guys, I'm not okay today. I'm also really hungry, so that could have something to do with it. Saturn is the only planet that could float in water. Although Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system, it is also the lightest planet. Saturn could float in water because it is mostly made of gas, although the real fact here is that you would need a giant bathtub. Alright, I'm gonna do just a few more. Astronauts can't burp in space. This is because the lack of gravity in space means the air in the astronaut's stomach doesn't separate and rise from the ingested food. A sunset on Mars is blue. Mars has less than 1% of the Earth's atmosphere, so the sunsets on Mars appear as blue due to the way the blue light from the sun is captured within the atmosphere of Mars. There's a picture here and it looks really cool. The word astronaut means star sailor in its origins. It is derived from the Greek words astron, meaning star, and nautis, which means sailor. So the word astronaut literally means star sailor. Mercury has no atmosphere, which means there is no wind or weather. Instead of an atmosphere, Mercury possesses a thin exosphere made up of atoms blasted off the surface by the solar wind and striking meteoroids. Cool. Okay, we'll do like two more. In China, the Milky Way is known as the Silver River. In Japan and Korea, that is Maya over there, sorry. In Japan and Korea, Silver River means galaxies in general, not just the Milky Way. And lastly, scientists once believed that the same side of Mercury always faced the sun. However, in 1965, astronomers discovered that the planet rotates 3 times during every 2 orbits it makes. Sorry, this website like jumps around because it has ads pop up. And anyway, I also just can't read today, as you can tell. But anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. If you like the idea of this becoming a series, just let me know and tell me what topics I should do, what facts I should include in a video. Just leave me suggestions down below. But